Hi, welcome back to Unit 3. This is Section 6, Lesson 1, and the first video for this lesson. This is Ms. Clemens-Brenton, and in this video we'll look at how to use number lines to model division of two fractions. Example 1. 2/3 divided by 1/4. So remember, when we read a division statement, 2/3 divided by 1/4 really means how many quarters fit into 2/3. Well, that may be hard for us to imagine because quarters and thirds are different sized pieces. So if we rewrite our fractions with a common denominator, it may make a little more sense. So first we'll find a common denominator and we'll change the fractions. So the lowest common multiple of 3 and 4 is 12. So if I rewrite those fractions with a common denominator of 12, I get 8/12 divided by 3/12. So that might make a little more sense now. How many 3/12 fit into 8/12? So we draw ourselves a number line. So here's a number line numbered 0 to 1. And in that space, I'm going to split it into 12 pieces. So on the number line now, I'm going to mark 8/12. So there's the position of 8/12 on the number line. And I have to figure out how many 3/12 fit in that space from 0 to 8/12. So how many jumps can I make before I hit that line at 8/12? So here's one jump of 3/12. There's another jump of 3/12. And then the last jump is a partial jump. So we can see here that the frog was able to make 2 full jumps and another 2/3 of a jump before it reached that wall or before it reached that mark at 8/12. So that means 2/3 divided by 1/4 is equal to 2 and 2/3 because we made 2 full jumps and 2/3 of another jump. We could also count the number of spaces from 0 to 8/12, and we know that there were 8 spaces and we were making jumps of size 3, so 2 and 2/3 can also be written as 8/3. Example 2. Use a number line to show each product. So for example A, 3/5 divided by 1/2. So again, we're trying to figure out how many halves fit into 3/5. So again, it might make more sense if we rewrite it with a common denominator. So the lowest common multiple of 5 and 2 is 10. So I'm going to rewrite both of those fractions with a common denominator of 10. So 3/5 divided by 1/2 becomes 6/10 divided by 5/10. So now I draw my number line and I split it into 10 pieces. I'm going to place a mark at 6/10. So I need to figure out how many jumps of 5/10 I'm going to make before I hit that wall at 6/10. So the frog can make 1 full jump and part of a second jump. So that means 3/5 divided by 1/2 is 1, and he makes 1/5 of the second jump. So 3/5 divided by 1/2 is 1 1/5. I can also count up the total spaces there, and I can see that there's 6 total spaces and 6/10. I was trying to make jumps of size 5, so 1 1/5 is also equal to 6/5. For example B, 6/7 divided by 2/3. So again, we need to find common denominators because it makes more sense to try and figure out how many fractions fit into another fraction when they're cut into the same size. So the lowest common multiple for 7 and 3 is 21. So I'm going to rewrite those fractions with a common denominator of 21. So 6/7 becomes 18/21, and 2/3 becomes 14/21. So now I draw myself a number line, and I split it into 21 pieces, and I'm going to mark where 18/21 is on that number line. So now I have to figure out how many jumps of size 14 I'm going to make before I hit the wall at 18/21. So the frog makes 1 full jump and then makes part of a second jump. So he actually makes 4/14 of the second jump because each jump has 14 spaces and he was able to move 4. So that means 6/7 divided by 2/3 is 1 and 4/14. Now 4/14 can also be reduced. 4 and 14 are both divisible by 2. So 1 and 4/14 actually reduces to 1 and 2/7. We could also count up how many spaces were in between 0 and 18/21, and there's 18 spaces. And we know that we were moving 14 spaces in one jump. So we could write that as 18/14, which also reduces to 9/7. Please complete the activities for this lesson.